Americanism, not globalism, will be our credo. Then we can be assured that other nations will not treat America with respect, the respect that we deserve.
What is up, people of the internet? It is me, Real American Politics, back in with the new video, and today it is finally time we talk about a closer gubernatorial election. I know, this is a shocker after weeks upon weeks about talking about Texas, talking about Oregon, Washington, all that stuff. We're finally going to be talking about a gubernatorial race that no matter what you do, no matter who wins this race, this is going to be an extremely tight race, and quite frankly, maybe the bellwether of the night for governor elections nationwide. Now, before I forget, I hope you enjoy these type of videos. If you do, smash the like button down below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit the little bell, and yes. Reminder, we have a sub goal. Again, I've been hitting this like every single day. We need to reach 10,000 subscribers before May 1st. If we do that, the merch store will be released on May 1st. And, yeah. So again, subscribe, share with your friends, all that good stuff. But enough of the promotion garbage. It is time that we talk about the gubernatorial race in Pennsylvania. It's been a while. I don't think I've ever talked about Pennsylvania's gubernatorial election. Why? Because I thought it was going to be one of those generic, boring races that, we all know who the Republican's going to be, we all know who the Democrat's going to be, and all that stuff. Well, in the past couple months or so, the Republican primary has become a complete shit show. It's a circus. Nobody knows what's happening. It's a complete and total mess. Now, before we talk about the Republican side, let's talk about the Democrat side, because that's pretty easy. So the Democrats have all but, nominated their candidates. Yes, I know, it's technically, not the primary yet, but he's the only candidate that realistically has a chance. I mean, he's the only one that qualified for ballot access. I'm, of course, talking about the Attorney General, Josh Shapiro. Again, why is it always people that suck have the last name of Shapiro? Is it just me? I mean, you got Ben Shapiro, Josh Shapiro, all the Shapiros. They all seemingly suck, all right? Whether they're Democrats, Republicans, or whatever, they all suck. But essentially, this clown of Attorney General, who's one of the worst in the nation, by the way, again, not as bad as, people in California, but still, this guy is awful. He sucks. The point is, he is all but certain the nominee. I mean, there's nobody running against him. Nobody really has a, serious chance at it. So it's going to be Shapiro. Again, why is it always a Shapiro with the last name? And yeah, that's pretty much that for the Democrats. It's going to be Josh Shapiro. As for the lieutenant governor's race, who gives a shit? I mean, honestly, it's the same thing. You either get a white dude named Brian or you get a black dude named Austin. Either way, it doesn't matter who the lieutenant governor is. It really doesn't matter. So with all that in mind, we got to talk with Republicans, because this is where we get the entertaining part. Because the Democrat side, we all know who's going to win. I mean, it's going to be Josh Shapiro. For the Republicans, quite frankly, I don't freaking know at this point. It's just a circus. It's a shit show, whatever you want to call it. Because look at this. Look at all these candidates. And these are major ones. These aren't like some random hobo down the street that's running. These are big names in frickin' Pennsylvania. Barletta, Corman, Gale, Mastrino, McSwain, all that stuff. These are big names. And you go down in the polling, it's an even bigger dumpster fire. I mean, look at this. What is happening? What is this? Again, Pennsylvania GOP, get your shit together. Like, what is this? I mean, there's like 5 candidates that have a serious chance of winning. Like, come on. Why? Just stop it. So the point is this. Republicans in Pennsylvania have no clear frontrunner. I mean, Barletta, technically, he's led in the most polls. But there's one candidate in mind that maybe is in second place. That's Mastrino. I mean, again, he's overrated. That's my opinion. Yeah, he's good in the election stuff, but he's just overrated. He has some people that's endorsing him that I don't really trust. It's like, it's not a good sign. It's not a good sign. He's endorsed by Jenna Ellis. And again, you don't know who this clown is. She is, awful. That's all I will say about her. She is awful. She should not have been the legal advisor to Trump. She should just go away, shoo. But look at these endorsements, by the way. I mean, this is just who's who at this point. I mean, you got Charlie Garrow endorsed by J.T. Thompson, Jack Corman endorsed by Conway, Barletta endorsed by Bannon, Stephan. Even Richie endorsed by Mike Ditka, that's how you say his name. And again, if you don't know who he is, former football head coach of the Bears, surprisingly very based politically. I was shocked to hear what he said about, certain political issues. He's pretty base, that's all I will say. But the point is, this endorsement list is a mess, and you get the point that there's really no clear frontrunner. Now the question is this: who do I believe is the best candidate of all these guys? Well, it gets iffy because, all of them are decent except Gale. In my opinion, Gale sucks. That's just me. Again, I know I'm going to piss off some people about that, but I'm not the biggest fan of Gale. Like, yeah, he's okay, but he's not that good. That's just my opinion. Gale's not that good. But point is, who do I think's the best? Well, Barletta is solid. On the issues, he is solid. He was a former congressman, actually good voting record. But during his campaign, he said some very, how do I say this? Some very, not good things, Not really conservative things, like the whole Afghan thing. Like, taking in more immigrants and stuff. It's like, no, Barletta, stop it. Yeah, I may want to help, the ones that actually helped us in Afghanistan, but taking in more people, it's like, no, just stop it. Mastrino, again, he's okay on the election issues. He was the only one that actually did something during the election, but still, he has some very questionable voting record and some bad people endorsing him. That's all I will say about him. So who's the only one that I would support? Well, this is a shocker. This is someone that I just recently heard about that in a recent poll somehow is surging. It's Dave White. Now, Dave White is somebody I didn't know who the hell was. I mean, before a couple minutes ago, I didn't know who this guy was. Then I looked on his campaign page. Dave White, right? I thought, okay, this is some generic boomer con that, is getting all the boomer votes, vote for him. No! This guy is actually pretty solid on the issues. And you look at this. He is running as a blue-collar Republican. That's what he's running on. Not like this crappy that, oh, I'm a true conservative. No! He's running on, Trump's, trade policy, talking about fighting for hardworking Americans, pro-small businesses, pro-worker. This is who's running. This is, in my opinion, the best candidate. You look at the rest of this. I mean, he's running on protecting our veterans, protecting our workers. I mean, he doesn't talk about socialism from this page. Again, his Twitter page, maybe, but from what I've seen so far, he looks pretty solid. He's running as a blue-collar Republican, and he's running on, Trump's, NAFTA agreement. So, like, hey, he replaced NAFTA, which killed us, by the way. Again, NAFTA, one of the worst trade deals ever. Replaced it with the USMCA, one of the better trade deals, Trump negotiated. This is who Republicans should be, voting for. Again, he's not running on socialism. He's running on blue collar. I'm going to fight for the workers, but at the same time, I'm going to be pro-business, pro small businesses, pro-good businesses. Not this crappy of like, the corporate tax rate should be decreased by 85%. It's like, no. People care more about small businesses than they do about corporate tax rates. And it is a good candidate. Now, would I endorse him? I don't know. Again, from what I've seen, he's probably the better Republican on the issues. Barletta I like. Mastrino, I do not like this guy. This guy's a fraud in the making. So again, I would probably endorse Barletta or Dave White. Again, they're both solid. They're both solid candidates. But I think Dave White seemingly is better. Again, I could be wrong on this. If I am wrong, bash me in the comments down below. But point is, I think I'm right. I will be right. But the point is this. It's a dumpster fire. Nobody knows who's the nominee. Now, the question is this. How can Republicans win this race? This is a unique state, politically. Pennsylvania at a presidential level has become a toss-up to potential lean Republican seat. However, the governor's race, look at 2018. The Wolf, won by 17. You heard that right. He won by 17, but actually, the state actually trended significantly Republican. He actually did way better in 2014. You look at this map, I mean, look at that. He did significantly better in 2014 than he did in 2018. But the point is this. The reason that Democrats do great in Pennsylvania is this. There's a lot of those blue dog Dems remaining. You know, they still vote Democrat down ballots sometimes, but at the same time, they vote for Trump in droves. I mean, look at this. You really think, well, let's just look at one of these counties. Let's go to Bradford County. Trump got 71% here. Republicans, Wagner got 64. And I know this was a blue wave here, but still, it's like, this is the part of the state that Republicans significantly underperform the orange man in. I mean, you can look at Luzerne County. I think that's how you say it again. Some of these county names across the nation, I can say, Polish counties perfectly, but, Luzerne, that's what I believe it is pronounced. Again, if I pronounce something incorrectly, bash me in the comments down below. But the point is, Wolf won here by around 5. Trump won this by 14. And that's a lot of votes here. That's 100,000 votes just here alone. So you do some basic math, and this is how Democrats were able to win by so much. They were able to do pretty good in places like Delaware, Montgomery, and Chester. I think even better than Biden in Chester, and a bit better in Delaware, a bit better in Montgomery, all of that. However, they got most of their votes in the rest of the state. Places like, Clearfield, places like Clinton County. This is a part of the state that is very working class, very more populist-esque voters. Even Erie County, they won by 21 points. That's not going to happen. I mean, Biden, quotations won this county by 1%. So again, you do all this math, and there's a lot of votes, surprisingly, in the rest of the state. However, you got to do better in a place like Bucks County. This is a county that is still fairly working class. Not as much as it used to be. Again, if you think of Bucks County, you think of it as a working class county. It's not so much as it used to be, but still it is fairly working class. Wolf won here by 18. Trump lost it by only 4. So you keep adding this up, it's like places like Bucks County, this is where Democrats were able to round up a lot of their votes from. Bucks County, Berks County, even Chester County, a suburb of freaking Philly. That's how Democrats were able to win. Also places like Allegheny. I mean, Wolf got 67% of the vote here. Biden got 59%. So, again, that's a lot of votes just in one county. This is where Pittsburgh is. This is how Republicans can win this race easily. They got to appeal to both the Trumpian vote in the rural parts of the state. At the same time, they cannot get killed this bad in Philly. I mean, you lost by 76. Trump did significantly better in Philly. Again, you don't have to do as good as Trump in Philly, but just do respectable enough. At the same time, do good enough in the rules. That's how you win Pennsylvania. It's not just, you have to win Delaware and Montgomery. No. Yeah, you got to do better in, the more suburban parts of the state. At the same time, you need to have pretty good turnout in the rural part of the state. Do good in a place like Erie. Do good in a place like Beaver. And they even underperformed in Westmoreland. This is a suburb of Pittsburgh that has trended significantly Republican in former years. So again, this is my opinion. Republicans, I think, will pull off a win here. It's just going to be extremely tight. I think like a quarter of a point. It's one of those places that Democrats still can get a lot of votes in, the former Democrat strongholds, in the state of Pennsylvania. Places like Lackawanna, Wayne, Pike, Luzerne, again, probably pronouncing that incorrectly. But the point is this. If Republicans run, blue-collar Republican, person that's working class and all that stuff, they don't have to worry about the rural part of the state. They just need to worry about getting decent numbers in Bucks, Chester, and Montgomery. Again, you don't have to win it. I mean, even Republicans won these counties. I mean, if they did it off in the rural part of the state, they couldn't win Pennsylvania. So that's just a fact. You got to do great in the rules, do somewhat okay in the suburban parts of the state. But anyways, I hope you enjoyed this video. If you did, smash the like button below, subscribe, share with your friends, hit the little bell, and yes. Thank you guys so much for watching, and we'll see you guys in the next video. Godspeed to all of you.